right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? As always, it's Caleb Harris back at it again with another video. Changing it up a little bit, man. Changing it up just a tad bit. I want to talk about avoidance, right? Why is it that we avoid hard things? Why is it that we always cling to our own comfort? Why is it that we're always trying to find the easy way out of everything? Always just trying to look for the easier way out of everything. I just got off the phone with a guy, and I'm not gonna tell you who he is, but him and I were just having a little, just conversation about life, business, following God, just things like that. And it got me thinking about a couple of things. Jesus in the wilderness, a man who doesn't work doesn't eat, and also this scripture right here that comes from Proverbs 10, 17. People who accept discipline are on the pathway to life, but those who ignore correction will go astray. So what does that actually mean? And how does that tie in also avoidance? Well, this is kind of random. I didn't really have a solid plan or nothing like that, but just something in my mind, and I'm just gonna let the spirit take it through. What I believe that this scripture says when it talks about people who accept discipline are on the pathway to life is that it means that every time we try to avoid things, how are we going to see the abundance of the kingdom? I mean, every time we always try to avoid everything that's hard, everything that's difficult, everything that tires us out. I mean, even right now, like I'm doing my own, I guess, test experiment. I didn't really want to record. I'm tired. I just got done eating all my food. I got off my call for 8 p.m. I usually don't take calls that late, but I made an exception. But what I'm doing is through practical application, I'm embracing discomfort. How can you embrace discomfort by only doing things that are comfortable? And the second half of the scripture says, but those who ignore correction will go astray. So every time we want to do what we want to do, every time somebody's trying to put us on game, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's trying to sit down here and tell us, hey, look, listen, how about we do it differently? How about we not do it this way because we're obviously not seeing the results that we're seeing. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? Dylan, what's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? For those of you who just popped in, I'm talking about avoidance. Talking about avoidance and why do we avoid hard things? And I'm just reading from the Bible. It talks from Proverbs 10, 17. So please forgive me if I can't get to everybody. Like I'm not the best with technology, believe it or not. Like I'm 31, not that great with technology, but Proverbs 10:17 reads, people who accept discipline are on the pathway to life, but those who ignore correction will go astray. And what that means is that, yeah, man, many of us are always trying to avoid the hard things in life. And it's like I go back to scripture. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I go back to scripture and it says, Jesus in the wilderness in the book of Matthew, right? All those things that he was going through. So I'm gonna just turn there real quick. I don't really have this concrete plan, but I've been saying, you know what? I'm gonna just go live more. Might as well. Might as well just go live more. Even in scripture it says in Matthew 4, verse 3, we'll read verse 3 versus verse 7. During that time the devil came and said to him, you are the son of God. Tell these stones to become loaves of bread. But Jesus told him, no. The scriptures say, people do not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him to the holy city, Jerusalem, to the highest point of the temple, and said, if you are the Son of God, jump off. For the scriptures say, he will order his angels to protect you, and they will hold you up with their hands, so you won't even hurt your foot on a stone. Jesus responded, the scriptures also say, you must not test the Lord your God. So what does that actually mean? What that means in general is this, man. Like every time we're faced with some kind of temptation, the enemy is always going to find a way to tempt us in some way, shape, or form. The more and more we keep on trying to avoid it, and the more and more that we don't cling to scripture, I'm gonna be real with you, man. We're gonna sit down here and we're gonna really mess our lives up. Okay? We're really gonna mess our lives up because we're gonna spend so much time trying to avoid temptation, right? And what I mean by avoiding temptation, yes, like the Bible does say to flee temptation. But when I talk about, let's flip it around and say hard things, avoiding hard things, avoiding confrontation, avoiding uncomfortable talks, right? Let's just say you work a job and you're trying to get a raise. You have put in the work. I'm talking about the ones that put in the work. Now, if you ain't put in the work, go put in the work first before you go and try to get a raise. But what I'm saying is this, right? Overall, what I'm trying to say is that when we always face things that are difficult in life, where are we going to go? Nowhere. So I'm taking some time to read some comments. It says you should do a podcast. I appreciate you. Appreciate that, Dylan, man. Appreciate that. I don't have a podcast, but I've thought about it. I usually just go live, and you can check me out on YouTube. Also, you can check me out on Instagram if you're on Instagram. I don't know if you're not, or if you are or aren't, but I'm on Instagram every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and my handle is a man named Caleb. Okay, my IG handle is a man named Caleb. I'm more active on there, and I'm also active on YouTube as well. But if I'm just being real, I'm not as active on YouTube. That's something I'm looking to get better at. But yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. So here's some free game for you, right? When it comes to avoiding things, like why is it that we always try to avoid hard things? It's because of our ego. Okay, it's 100% because of our ego. Our ego gets in the way. We say they're gonna make fun of us, they're gonna embarrass us, and guess what? Like it's going to happen. I'm just gonna be real. Like it's going to happen. One way, shape, or form, it's going to happen, fam. You will always get embarrassed doing something. Like there's been times. I'll share a story real quick. I vend as a, excuse me, I sell my books, right? So I sell books, and every time I go out to vend, like there has been times, a small handful of times, I didn't make like no money. Like we're not talking about $20 or whatever. There were times I just didn't make any money. Like I made zero. You know what I'm saying? I made $0. Yes, $0, bro. It was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. And that was always like my biggest fear. Like 4 months ago, I got in a car accident. That was also my biggest fear. You know what I learned about those two things? Well, number one, with the vending situation, it's going to happen again. But so what? All because I had a day where I didn't make $0. Let's be honest. All because I didn't make zero, all because I didn't make money, right? That doesn't mean I'm a loser. That doesn't mean I'm a failure. That doesn't mean I did anything wrong. Like the truth is this. There's times in my business where I make money. There's times I don't make money. It's okay. You know what I did? I didn't throw a pity party. I didn't just avoid all vending altogether. So I'm just gonna quit. I'm just gonna give up. No, I sat down here. I said, okay, I'm just gonna go to a different environment where there's higher traffic. When I crashed my car, okay, things happen. I got into a car accident 4 months ago. Listen, it happens. I was at fault, but again, I got a pretty good paycheck. I'll say that. I don't always like to discuss money. Are you from Kenya? No, I'm from America. The truth is this is that I got a really good payout for that car. So yeah, I got into a car accident, but I got a good payout. So as long as yeah, I'm gonna be waiting on the check. As soon as I get the check, I can get another car. That's simple. That's simple. So that is so true. I love people who speak the truth about God and their story about things that happen. I hope you're okay from your crash. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, it was one of my biggest fears to ever get into a car accident, Dylan, but like it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't avoid it. I was in traffic and the car stopped in front of me and I crashed right into him. It's my fault. I'll take responsibility for it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I learned, it's like, okay, like when I'm in traffic, I'm just gonna have to change around the way I drive. And that's all I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I could do differently. Change the way I drive, change the way I do things. And I'll be just fine. And if I ever get into another car accident, okay. Like, but I'm not gonna sit down here always being in the back of my head, like, oh, I'm gonna get in a car accident. Oh, I'm a bad driver. No, I made a mistake. It's how I move forward. So I'm not gonna avoid driving. I'm not gonna avoid vending. You see how I'm tying this in? I'm not going to avoid things that are hard, that scare me or make me look stupid or embarrass me, or somebody's going to make some little mean comment about me on social media. Like, it's crazy, y'all. Like, with social media, like, I'll be real with you, bro. Like, I'm a regular person in day-to-day life. I don't do this to get no fame and no clout. Like, I do this just because I want to help somebody out. Like, my main profession is I do recovery coaching with my business, Choosing Your Freedom. Okay? I help out those who want to help out themselves. Nice to meet you too. And yeah, that's just the reality of it all. Like, I'm not trying to sit down here becoming some kind of like famous person or some kind of relationship podcaster. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to do my job here on earth, serve God, die, and just go to heaven. That's it. Like, the way I live my life is very simplistic, laid back, excuse me, chill. I don't want for a lot of things. Like, my main goals is to scale my business, get out of my college debt. Like, I got enough clothes that can hold me over. I live up in Connecticut, so like it's getting a little bit colder out here. But on the real, the truth is this, man. I don't want for a lot of things. I just thank God that I have the things that I need. Because I see people around like they don't know where their next meal gonna come from. It's getting colder out here. They don't know where they're gonna stay. Man, bro, I hate to like, make fun of people who are disabled, but like, what's my degree in? Mass communications. Mass communications. That's what my degree is in. Got it when I was in 2017. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, man, it's one of those things I tell myself all the time is a bad day doesn't equal a bad life, guys. Or for girls who are listening to, a bad day doesn't equal a bad life. I mean, the things that we go through, God is teaching us something. We may not eventually get the lesson right away per se, but at the end of the day, we will eventually gain the lesson. We'll eventually gain something from it. And then we take our lessons, we take what we go through, and then we just apply it to our lives. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the way I look at things in life. When it comes to Jesus even being in the wilderness, I believe, in my personal opinion, we're all going through some kind of a wilderness in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a job, whether it's just life's trials and tribulations, whether you just broke up with your ex, like you trying to navigate through college or trade school, or right now you just recently lost your job. You feel me? Like, you just going through it. So you just going through it, man. Job loss, don't know where your next meal gonna come from. You may be bound to a wheelchair. Not trying to disrespect you or nothing. I'm just, keeping it real, right? Like, life isn't really going the way you want it to go. So you probably thinking, man, maybe I should just give up. Maybe I should just try to avoid all my problems, doom scroll, chase after women, watch porn, get into drugs and alcohol, or, just try to numb out, right? Numb out when it comes to video games, pornography, doom scrolling, chasing after women, etc., 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 right? Instead of just sitting down here telling yourself, you know what? Hey, man, look, listen, my life isn't exactly where I need it to be or where I want it to be. But here's the thing about it. Like, even though my life is not exactly where I want it to be, at least I'm right where I need to be. Okay? Yeah, like that's the key to it. Like, we sit down here, I think just in general, so many people always find ways to complain about life, always find ways to try to avoid what they really need to be doing. And unfortunately, they find themselves, what's the words I want to say? They find themselves stuck a lot. Now, I'm not saying that people don't get anxious, don't have mental health issues, but what I am saying is this though. I am saying is that people who battle with anxiety, mental health issues, and depression, what I've seen through doing coaching for the past like 3 years, I have a degree in mass communication, so I've got a pretty good understanding about the human behavior. A lot of people are avoiding things. A lot of people are not reading the Bible. A lot of people are not praying. A lot of people are not breathing. A lot of people are not fasting. A lot of people are just always trying to find an easier way out of everything instead of just embracing what's in front of them. And they find something to always complain about. Oh yeah, and they always watch the doggone news. I've seen that a lot. They always watching the news. Like, yeah, don't mishear me. Like, stay informed. You know what I'm saying? Get like non-biased content. Like, stop just getting content that's either left wing or right wing. Like, just get content that's like down the middle if you can find that. But what I'm trying to say in this, because I'm gonna wrap this up, because I really ain't got much else to say. But in closing, what I'm trying to say is that, when it comes to God, when it comes to following God, stop avoiding your calling. Okay, if you don't know what your calling is, talk to God. He'll reveal it to you. He will reveal it to you. I promise you, He will reveal it to you. Like, it may just be that you may be at a business, or you just may be there to testify the gospel. That just may be your purpose, but at the end of the day, find out what you're good at and just stick to it. Don't just give up just at the slightest inconvenience. I know we may run into money issues, finances, and all those kind of things. How does God reveal Himself? That's a good question. When I think of the words, how does God reveal Himself? Uh, it's not as complicated as you think it is. Do I go live every night? I might, but not right now. How does God reveal Himself? How He reveals Himself is basically what's it called? MITLLC. How God reveals Himself is really when we're just in the quiet. He reveals Himself in numerous things, but from my experience, He reveals Himself when we just going through the harshest times in life, like the harshest times in life, like running out of money, when we're all by ourselves. Those are the two ways that God reveals Himself. He doesn't reveal Himself obviously physically, but He gives you internal peace to keep on going. So hopefully that makes sense. Like, He doesn't say anything. Sometimes He says something, and then sometimes He doesn't say anything at all. Sometimes He speaks inaudibly, but sometimes He speaks through somebody else. But from my own personal experience, God reveals Himself to me when honestly, I ain't doing nothing. When I'm going through a lot in life, like God revealed to me, I mean, I'll just be honest with you. Like, I broke up with my ex, like, I think 7, 8 months ago. And God revealed to me when I was in my down and out moment, like just thinking, like, dang, like, what else could I do in this relationship? Because the relationship was just toxic, bro. It was toxic. We didn't hook up or nothing like that, but it just, the controlling and manipulative behavior was more like a Jezebel spirit. So when I was going through all that, I was just like, dang, like, what do I do? I know what God has said. He just spoken audibly. Like, usually God don't even use a lot of words. He just said, so and so is not your wife. Broke up with her the next day. Been at peace ever since. That is crazy. But yeah, just to answer y'all question, like going live, my goal is to start going more live more often. I don't have like a set time I want to go, but right now my time is 8:47 Eastern time. Again, that's 8:47 Eastern time. I thinking I'm about to just go more live every day, because right now I don't start my new job till November, and I got some time, so I'm probably just gonna go at the best time for everybody else, like 12, 3, 8 p.m. I mean, I'm gonna just figure it out. So hopefully y'all have a great night. Just remember one last thing, man. Stop avoiding your problems, face them, keep yourself grounded with God, man. Keep yourself grounded with God, you'll be all right. So peace.